Now, finding a hidden message in the walls of an old lighthouse might sound like something from a children's adventure book.
Yeah, and very exciting too. But in fact, it really happened. The message was written 132 years ago and slipped into a bottle hidden inside Corsewall Lighthouse near Stranraer. Let's see the moment the engineers found it.
Yeah, it's got like proper bony handwriting as well, look at that.
Let's see. No way.
Aye.
No way.
Here, look at the cork.
Corsewall Light.
Real magical moment, isn't it? And we can speak now to the Corsewall Lighthouse keeper, Barry Miller. Barry, good morning to you. Wonderful to have you on our programme this morning.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Yeah, you weren't there when the engineers found it, but just describe the moment that they told you about it and when you began to get an idea and understanding of what it actually contained.
When they found it, I was actually on my way to Stranraer to collect supplies, and they telephoned me immediately they found it. So I raced back. My goodness me, we were incredibly excited. I couldn't actually believe what I was seeing when I saw it. An old bottle, and we could partly read the note from the outside of the bottle. What we could read was Corsewall Light and Fog. So we kind of knew that it must have dated about 1890 because the fog horn was installed in 1890, and they called lighthouses light and fog stations for about 10 years, and then the fog station part disappeared. So we had an inkling of it being around about 1890, but obviously we had no idea, and we speculated as to what the contents were going to be before we opened the bottle.
And I mean, forgive me for my mispronunciation earlier. I caught you saying there, Barry, it's Stranraer. But tell us what...
Yes.
Stranraer, thank you. What was written on the note exactly? Why was it such an emotive moment for you? Because I know you got quite emotional reading it.
Yeah, well, we've never found a bottle with a note in it in a lighthouse before. And my goodness, we'd found one and we had it in our hands, and we could almost feel the presence of the people who had left it there. We speculated. We thought it might have been a treasure map. We thought it might have been a suicide note. We thought it might have been a note from a jilted lover. We didn't know what we were going to find. It was difficult to get it out of the bottle because it was on fairly stiff paper and it had uncurled within the bottle. So we got two bits of coaxial cable and we twisted it together like a pair of chopsticks and carefully withdrew it. And then we could see it was written in quill, in beautiful, the black script handwriting. It was basically a note from various engineers who were working in the lighthouse at that time, 1892, and the keepers who were on duty at that same time. In 1892, a major work had taken place on the lighthouse. A lens, a huge Fresnel lens, which weighs over 5 tons, which is still operating to this day, was installed. And the lantern, which is atop the lighthouse, the glazing and the dome, was replaced to allow this lens to be installed. And it was these engineers that had left the note, basically saying who they were and the date, which is the 4th of September 1892.
What I think is so beautiful about this is they obviously did intend for it to be found. So it is really direct communication from these men to you. And we're looking
Absolutely.
at pictures now
Yes.
of the men. So what can you tell us about what life would have been like for them back in 1892 and how it would contrast with the kind of role that you do now?
Well, the thing is, it doesn't contrast that very much, Rachel. It's the same job. What we do is basically what we do in the lighthouse service is we build big white towers on headlands and shine big lights out to the sea. And we've done that for 250 years. And obviously the lights out to sea makes navigation in coastal waters so much safer. So really the job's similar, and the importance of the lighthouse continues to be crucial to coastal navigation. And the lens that these guys installed, who wrote us the note and left it for us, is the same lens which operates just as effectively today as it did when it was installed in
Back
1892.
then, yeah, it's a beautiful story, Barry. I'm so glad that we've been able to catch up with you this morning. Thank you so much. And I know the note itself is going to be preserved and eventually hung up in the lighthouse once all the work there is finished.
Yes, and what a lovely thing to have discovered, especially now. You'd probably be leaving a WhatsApp note, wouldn't you, rather than a message in a bottle.
How depressing.